What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new football video where we will talk about the fact that Roman Abramovich is getting out of Chelsea. He is selling the club amid, the impending sanctions that will go on his head, will go down after the UK government can be bothered to sanction the Russian oligarchs. You have to wonder how much money did the Russian oligarchs fund the current government. That the war is going on for like almost a week now, or maybe just about a week in Ukraine, and in England Roman Abramovich is still yet to be sanctioned. And otherwise, if it was another government, I think Chelsea would be already under governmental control. That's another type of debate, whether that would be just or right or fair. But I think it's very evident that because there is so much Russian money funneled into the current ruling party in England, they were basically just having a lot of hesitancy and very small sanctions, and gradually they will increase that probably, but they just give a lot of time for the Russian oligarchs to move their funds and move their assets away from countries that will impose sanctions. For example, in another country, I think it was in France or Italy, I'm not sure, where Usmanov, the current co-owner of Everton, he had a yacht of worth $600 million, I heard somewhere. And that was seized by the local government there. So you have to wonder, what does it take for Abramovich to get sanctions? Because at the moment there are still no sanctions on the Chelsea owner. But this is the main reason, and the reason why I'm talking about this. I don't really want to talk about politics because it's not my thing. But the reason why Chelsea is up for sale is because Roman Abramovich knows that either he gets sanctions, or if he doesn't get sanctioned, or if he would sue the government, counter-sue the government, it would tarnish the club's reputation. It would drag the Chelsea brand and the club through the mud. And of course, he's a Chelsea fan, Roman Abramovich, so he doesn't want to do that. And you have to wonder who will pay the £3 billion that allegedly Roman Abramovich is valuing Chelsea at $3 billion. Let me tell you, no club at the moment is worth $3 billion. Not even Manchester United. If you look at their stock price, and Man United are in the stock exchange, so it's pretty easy to calculate how much Man United is worth. It comes out at around $2.5 billion or billion pounds, depending on the exact day when you look at the share price. And Chelsea are not as valuable as Manchester United. I'm sorry, Chelsea are a big club, but they are not as big as Man United or Liverpool. Only Man United and Liverpool are worth around £2.5–3 billion at the moment. Chelsea are maximum $1.5–2 billion, but even that is questionable. Who will have that type of money available right now? This could be a drawn out saga. This could take months, if not years, until Roman Abramovich finds a proper buyer, and that buyer will have to go through a more strenuous fit and proper test, because surprise surprise, the Premier League announced and the English FA announced that, oh wait, we should look at human rights issues when we do the fit and proper owners test. Wow, you have to stop and just wonder how much are corrupt these guys are. They just value nothing but money and profits, because the United Arab Emirates, Russian oligarchs, Saudi Arabia, everybody was welcome in the Premier League until there is actually a war in Europe for the first time in 77 years, and European people, Ukrainian people, stay strong. They are dying every day there. And this is when the UK finally wakes up and thinks, wait, we shouldn't let just anybody with money into the country to own a football club. It's so sad, if you think about it, that this is what it took. a war where people are dying every day, for the Premier League and the English FA to wake up and smell the coffee and just realize that you should do a much more strict and strenuous fit and proper test when you are vetting these owners. And we don't exactly know how close Abramovich is to Putin, but there were allegedly some news outlets who reported that Abramovich is involved in the peace talks between Ukraine and Russia, and that is, as I said, allegedly, because that has not been confirmed. But even if that's not true, for that rumor to just come up, it shows that Putin's right-hand man could be Abramovich, and it was a very cheap and easy way for Russia to infiltrate UK politics and via sports washing, via Chelsea Football Club. And if you are a Chelsea fan watching this, let me know what is your honest opinion now that there is a war on another democratic European country, Ukraine. Let me know what do you think about the Abramovich. Of course, many Chelsea fans are thankful to him because in the 18 years or so that he has been the owner, Chelsea have won 19 trophies, which is a phenomenal record, but it comes at a big cost morally, and I'm not fine with it. A Swiss billionaire Hans-Jörg Wyss and American investor Todd Bowley are understood to be the two parties interested in buying Chelsea. A spokesperson for Ineos, the company owned by Jim Ratcliffe, said there was no substance linking the British billionaire with a bid for the club. So Roman Abramovich is clearly wants to sell Chelsea as quick as possible because he is facing the threat of being sanctioned by the UK government. It actually blows my mind that still 1 week after the war starting, there is still officially no sanctions on Abramovich from the UK government. That tells its own story, if I'm honest. And one of the reasons is that Abramovich and all these Russian oligarchs, who by the way funded the Tory party throughout their election campaign with large amounts of donations, that the Russian oligarchs will have time to move their assets, because Sky Sports is reporting that Abramovich is trying to sell £200 million worth of property in central London, and his most valuable UK asset is Chelsea, of course. And in the current climate, it will be very difficult to sell Chelsea quickly. And Richard Masters, the Premier League's chief executive, said the situation has escalated incredibly quickly over the last 7 days, and Abramovich has come to the right conclusion. It's unsustainable in the current environment. The government won't and the people won't accept of Chelsea Football Club being owned by a man so close to Putin when there is a war waging in Europe. But you have to ask, why were they fine with Roman Abramovich owning Chelsea for the last 18 years? I will tell you, money. Because the Premier League just loves money, and then of course most of the businessmen in charge of these things. Just look at how much money Roman Abramovich brought into Chelsea Football Club, and they don't really look on the moral side of it and also on the political side of it. I don't really want to get into it. I already spoke maybe too much. The big question is, if Roman Abramovich's assets are frozen and taken by the UK government, will he still be able to sell Chelsea? Or will it be UK government owned and then they will sell it to somebody? We don't know that yet. And Masters said, I don't think that will work, that Chelsea will be subject of sanctions from the UK government. And this is exactly why Abramovich bought Chelsea in the first place, to have this soft power among Chelsea fans, who many of them are still defending Roman Abramovich. So let me know, guys, where do you stand on this whole Chelsea issue? I spoke a lot of my own opinion, and also I presented you guys with the fact it's a quickly moving story, so I will probably make an update video on this in the later next coming days or weeks, whenever there is a major development in this story. The quickest sale of a Premier League club was 10 days according to the Premier League chief executive. That's not to say it can't be beaten, but normally they take a number of weeks. It depends on the complexity of the information. And if Abramovich can't sell Chelsea very soon, then Chelsea won't be able to spend any money in the transfer market, because who is going to fund it? Chelsea will have to operate like Liverpool, basically becoming self-sustainable. But Chelsea have so many young players on loan that if they sell most of those young players, they will be able to buy big players in the near future. So I think financially Chelsea will be fine, unless the major disaster happens. And maybe the UK government sanctions Chelsea as well, but I don't think that will happen, because of you know, the Russian oligarchs paying so much money to the current UK government. Let me know where do you stand on this debate in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. See you later, guys. Goodbye.